We're here at OBS with Jimbo Gladwell at Top Line Sales. Jimbo, thank you very much for coming. Tell me a little bit about when you wanted to make thoroughbreds your career.
You know, career is such a broad term for people in the horse business. I think it's more of a way of life, and you got to be a part of it if you want to survive in this game. You've got to be 100% in, and it's not a 5-day-a-week job. It's, like I said, a lifestyle. And early on, you know, my mom and dad did 2-year-olds and seen some success there, and just, you know, following their footsteps, and it's kind of a family enterprise. My uncle does it, cousins do it, brother and sister are involved a little bit. We're just, you know, it's our lifestyle, and you know, get up and pinch yourself every morning because it's just unbelievable what we get to do and where the horses have taken us.
Talk about the importance of Ocala for training 2-year-olds.
So a lot of the aspects that are great about Ocala, number one being the weather. We have very few rain out days or weather days per se for us down here. A lot of sunny weather, very conducive to training in the wintertime. The track stays solid. But then we have the greatest people in the world, in my opinion, as far as blacksmiths, vets, you know, chiropractors. They're at your fingertips, and you know, you find when you get out of Ocala that it's not that way. You know, you can call a vet and it might be days before they get there. The blacksmith can't get to you for a month. Where Ocala, horses are number one, and they're part of that lifestyle we talked about, and it's, you know, 24/7. You know, if we call our vet at 10 o'clock at night, he kicks out of bed and he comes to help us out with whatever kind of problem we're having. So Ocala's horse capital of the world, in my opinion, and it's a great place to live. It's gateway to anywhere in the world. You're an hour and a half from a couple international airports, you know, 40 minutes from the coast. You go fishing, beaching it, whatever you like. But it's, you know, low key and a great spot to call home.
What do you like about selling at OBS?
You know, we really like the track. It seems to let the horses come back in good fashion. It doesn't tax them a whole lot. Seems to be very kind as far as the joints and x-rays and whatnot. But the whole selling process, you know, it's almost like a chess match with a little Sudoku mixed in, and you're trying to find the perfect combination of where this horse needs to fit and which buyer he's going to, you know, really fit at the sale. So most of the time when we buy these things, we've got buyers in mind that either like that family, you know, have been having success with maybe a son, you know, of the same sire, and you're trying to just kind of have a game plan when you go into the sale. If it does work out, you've got kind of 4 targets. These are the guys that are really going to fit this horse, and do that each horse. So when we get here, you know, if buyer A walks up, we've already got an idea of what he wants, and I don't need to try to sell him 4 or 5 that I know he does. Like, you may know he's had one sire that he's just had horrible success with, no luck other than bad luck, and that guy doesn't want to see that stallion, no matter if he's good or not. You don't try to push that horse. You find a happy marriage for the ones that you think will fit the right buyers, and you know, that's kind of how we go about it, just trying to fit the puzzle pieces to the right people, the right horses, and I don't try to sell every horse to every buyer, if that makes sense.
And so tell us a little bit about when you're shopping for younger horses, aiming them toward a 2-year-old sale. What's that process like for you guys?
Sure. So, you know, first of all, we look at every horse, and we try not to do too much culling on pedigree or any of that stuff with any preconceived ideas, because at the end of the day, we really need an athletic horse, and that's what we want. However, you know, there may be a sire that we really liked the year before that's a little bit cold, that we may take a shot on because we had a few in our training program that other people aren't willing to take a shot on. So we keep that in the back of our mind as well. But first and foremost, we're looking at all of them individually, pinpointing the athletes, then going through the vetting to see what we can live with, and you know, putting the pieces together and trying to just buy an athletic horse at the end of the day.
Talk about having sold OBS April graduate Arabian Knight and him being on the Derby Trail this year.
You know, that horse, he's been phenomenal so far, and he was like that on the farm. We were literally scared to breeze him because just anytime you breezed him, it was in hand and too fast. And we never let him go. Usually we'll do a couple preps on the farm where we kind of let them out a notch and see, kind of where they fit in, make sure they know the stick, and, just a lot of learning. Well, this horse, I never let my breeze rider ride him until we got to OBS. And when we prepped him, he went all the way around the track, and I caught him on the pony and literally crippled one of my young ponies when I caught him and pulled him up. And if not, he was going around again. I mean, the horse he seems like he can go forever. We'll see if he gets tired when they really stretch him out. But, I mean, he's just got such a high cruising speed and efficiency. It was really special to get to train him and sell him at OBS. And, the price tag going in, I mean, I think there was 5 or 6 guys over $1 million on him. So, I mean, it wasn't like, I give all the credit to Gary and Zidane for buying the horse. But, they weren't the only guys that knew about him. There's a lot of guys that just couldn't afford him. And I tip my hat to them guys because they were tenacious and went in there and went up against some tough guys to get him bought, and have been rewarded for it. And we're very excited. That's what we really enjoy is getting to watch our graduates, and it's very rewarding to see somebody that you touted a horse to, and they buy the horse, and then he goes on and as good as you think he is. It's very rewarding.
What do you attribute to being so successful in such a competitive industry?
So for us, started at a young age, following my dad around, mom around, shortlisting horses, and honing our skills that way. But as being successful, I think, is surrounding yourself with a great team. My wife, my parents, brother and sister, the people that we shortlist with, and really hone in on the horses that we want to buy is immense to our success. And my wife's a big part of it, really critical on our buying part of it, and just having a great team around you. We've got boys at the sale that have been working for us for 5-6 years that show these horses to the best of their ability. I've got a breeze rider that's been with me since the very first 2-year-old sale I ever worked. He's literally breezed 95% of the horses I've ever sold as a 2-year-old, and that's phenomenal. It's people just don't stay together that long. You got to be competitive in this game, but at the same time, you got to have the right team around you, and I think our teamwork is what brings us to the top.
So you've had some pretty exciting accomplishments. What would you like to achieve?
In the pinhooking game, you're always just trying to make a living from year to year, and you're hoping to sell somebody a good horse or a Derby horse, Breeders' Cup horse. I mean, it's so hard to get the good ones, and I think you've got to really slow down and enjoy when you have the good ones, because being able to get a Grade 1 winner, I mean, we went maybe 15 years without a Grade 1 winner. A lot of stakes winners, but no Grade 1 winners. Very difficult to have. Then all of a sudden, like 3 years in a row, you get them, and 2 of them I would have give away.
Wow.
Starting out. I mean, they problem childs right off the bat, but they end up being really good horses later in their career. So I think for us, just striving to get good horses in good trainers' hands and cheering them on. I get just as much satisfaction cheering for a horse we pinhooked as owning them or breeding them. Just having something to do with them. I know people will tell you, oh, you don't own them anymore. Like, yeah, but that's like your kid coming through school and you teach him, and all of a sudden he's really successful at something that you helped him with. And for us, it's just about getting them into the right hands, seeing those guys have confidence buying off of you and turning out good. You never want somebody to buy one off of you and have bad luck. But in the horse business, I have plenty of bad luck at my farm. It happens, and there's so many variables in the horse business. But at the end of the day, we're just rooting for the guys buying off of us so much to do good.